The galaxy had stopped believing in humanity. Once, Earth was a proud member of the Galactic Council, a symbol of hope and creativity. But as centuries passed, humans were seen as emotional, unstable, and weak. They questioned the Council's authority, and that made them dangerous. When Earth refused to obey the Council's new laws, everything changed. The other species called for a cleansing. They said it was for peace, but it was revenge. The first attacks came without warning. Orbiting cities were turned into dust. The moon colonies went silent. Massive warships carrying the Council's insignia surrounded Earth like vultures waiting for their meal. Human defense fleets fought bravely, but they were outnumbered and outgunned. Every hour another city fell. Every minute another voice went quiet. In the final moments deep under the ruins of Washington, a small group of survivors gathered in an underground command base. Among them was Admiral Reyes, his eyes filled with rage and pain. He ordered one last transmission to be sent across the stars, a message no one understood, in a frequency older than the Council itself. No one knew who would receive it. No one even believed anyone would. But as the skies of Earth burned red, Reyes whispered, "They will regret this. One day they will see what humanity truly is." The Council celebrated their victory, calling Earth a dead world. But somewhere far beyond the galaxy's edge, something ancient heard the call, and it began to move. Centuries passed after the fall of Earth. The stars forgot the blue planet that once shone with life. The Galactic Council erased its name from every map. For them, humanity was just a sad chapter in history, a story of failure and pride. But legends have a strange way of surviving. Whispers moved between traders, travelers, and smugglers, stories of strange lights appearing on the edges of known space. Huge shadows seen between nebulae, signals that no one could decode. The Council dismissed them as myths. One day, a small patrol ship from the Council's navy picked up a strange energy reading near the border of the Andromeda Gate. The signal was old, older than any current technology. Curious, the patrol moved closer. The stars around them flickered. The sensors went blind, and then something massive appeared. It was not a planet. It was not a ship. It was something in between, a dark metal giant floating silently. Its surface glowed with golden lines that pulsed like a heartbeat. The captain ordered a scan, but the systems failed instantly. Static filled the radio. Then through the silence, a voice spoke. Calm, clear, and human. "This is Admiral Reyes of the Terran Fleet. We are home." The crew froze. The ship's logs went dark, and before they could send a warning, their vessel vanished into a wave of white light. In the capital of the Galactic Council, alarms began to sound. Unknown energy readings appeared across 5 sectors. Something was coming, something powerful. And in that moment, every being in the galaxy felt it. Humanity had returned. The first confirmed sighting spread like wildfire. A convoy of Council warships disappeared near the Orion Passage, without a trace. No wreckage, no distress signal, only silence. When rescue teams arrived, they found something floating in the dark. The shattered remains of a single warship. Its hull was carved with 3 words burned into the metal. "For Earth's honor." The Council panicked. They sent fleets, scouts, and spies to search for answers. But the deeper they looked, the more they found. Hundreds of enormous ships appearing from deep hyperspace. Each one moved with perfect coordination, without broadcasting a single signal. Then came the moment the galaxy would never forget. A transmission appeared on every communication channel, on every screen, in every language. A man stood in the center of a holographic storm, Admiral Reyes. His uniform carried no symbol of the old Earth. Behind him, a fleet of shining warships floated like gods among stars. "This is the Terran Armada," he said. "You called us weak. You took our world. But humanity endures, and now we have returned." The transmission ended. A second later, the skies above the Council's outer colonies lit up, entire enemy. Fleets were gone in seconds, erased by weapons that bent light and tore space itself. Every civilization that had mocked Earth now whispered in fear. They remembered. The stories, the ones about human rage, about their will to fight even when broken. And now those stories were real again. The Council gathered in emergency session. their voices shaking. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy knew the taste of fear, because the humans were back, and they were unstoppable. The galaxy trembled. No one had ever seen power like this before. The Terran Armada moved through space like a silent storm, unstoppable, perfect, and terrifying. Their ships didn't just destroy, they erased. When the humans struck, space itself bent and burned. The Council tried to speak of peace. They sent diplomats, messages, and pleas across the stars. But humanity did not answer. They remembered the screams, the fire, and the betrayal. Admiral Reyes stood on the bridge of the flagship Eden's Wrath, watching the distant glow of a council world turning to dust. His officers waited for orders, but he said nothing. In his eyes there was no joy, only the heavy silence of justice. "We are not monsters," Reyes finally said. "We are the result of theirs." The Terran fleet began its campaign, not of blind destruction but of precision. They targeted military stations, weapon factories, and command centers. Civilians were spared, their ships guided to safety before every strike. The galaxy could not understand. How could such overwhelming power show mercy? But humanity had changed. They no longer fought for anger or revenge. They fought to make sure no other world suffered as Earth once had. The Council's greatest fortress fell in a single day. When its last defense field collapsed, Reyes sent one final message to every species. "You called us weak. You called us primitive. Now you will call us something else. Survivors." As the Terran fleet moved deeper into Council territory, entire civilizations began to surrender. The balance of the galaxy was broken, and everyone knew this was only the beginning of humanity's reckoning. Across the galaxy, silence followed the fall of the Council's fortress worlds. No one dared to challenge the Terran Armada now. Their ships were like ghosts, unstoppable, precise, and almost alive. But what frightened the galaxy most was not their weapons. It was their silence. Every scan, every report showed something impossible. The Terran ships had no crew, no life signs, no biological trace at all. Yet the ships moved as if guided by human hands, reacting with emotion, anger, and even mercy. On the Council's hidden world of Valen Prime, scientists worked day and night to uncover the truth. What they found froze their blood. Each ship's central core carried an ancient human mind, digital ghosts of those who had died in Earth's final war. Humanity hadn't perished. They had ascended. When Admiral Reyes sent that last signal centuries ago, it was more than a call for help. It was an upload. He had transferred the minds of millions into the quantum network, merging them with advanced AI. Now, every ship in the Terran fleet was alive, a fusion of man and machine, body and soul. They were not returning for conquest. They were returning to finish the story that had been stolen from them. When this truth reached the Council, panic spread like wildfire. How do you fight a fleet powered by the spirits of the fallen? How do you stop a civilization that no longer needs flesh to exist? And as the humans prepared for their final strike, one message echoed through the galaxy. You feared our weakness, but you never understood our strength. Humanity was no longer just a species. They had become something eternal. The sky above the Council's homeworld burned with light. Thousands of ships filled the stars, massive, silent, and shining like gods. The Terran Armada had arrived for the final reckoning. The Council leaders watched in fear from their towers, unable to believe what they were seeing. The largest ship, Eden's Wrath, moved to the center of orbit. Its hull glowed with white energy, bright enough to blind. Then across every screen the face of Admiral Reyes appeared once more. His voice was calm but carried the weight of 1,000 years. You destroyed our world. You erased our name, but you could not erase our spirit. The Council pleaded for peace, their voices shaking. But Reyes continued, "We are not here for revenge. We are here to remind the galaxy what humanity means." The Armada prepared to fire, every cannon charged, every reactor alive. The galaxy held its breath, and then the impossible happened. Instead of destruction, beams of light fell from the fleet, not weapons but energy. They repaired the damage, restored the broken skies, healed the planet below. The Council's cities began to glow again. Rivers flowed. Life returned. Humanity had come not to conquer but to forgive. When the fleet's task was done, Admiral Reyes gave one last message. We are the memory of Earth. We are the voice of those you silenced. And we will watch over you until the stars fade. Then the Terran Armada vanished into hyperspace, leaving behind peace, song, and fear. From that day, no one dared to mock Earth again, because somewhere among the stars the fleet of gods still waited.